This is my 2019 Outlander 1000. It is my new machine that I'm going to be taking to Mexico. I purchased this machine for $4,000 off a marketplace, and you're probably wondering how I bought a 2019 Outlander that looks this good for $4,000. Well, it's actually got 22,000 miles on it. So it starts right up. Sounds really good, but definitely is in need of some service. It's a little loose in some areas, but it's got Fox shocks. They're not completely blown out, but the machine does need a little love. Needs a couple little pieces here and there, like a footwell, some new grips, and definitely a full service. So I'm gonna kind of do just a light rebuild on this. I'm taking it to Mexico in a few weeks to ride. My family, with my wife's side of the family, we go down to Mexico for a couple of weeks every year, and we take four-wheelers down and ride them. I don't ride a whole lot of four-wheelers other than in Mexico, so every year I usually do a build like this. So I just wanted to get a video together and show you the process along the way. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start taking it apart. I know it runs and drives, which is a big plus. I'm just going to go over, start checking the battery, start checking the air filter, different fluids and stuff like that. Definitely going to change all the fluids, even the coolant, but probably going to first start off by getting it tore down. Still going to keep it running and driving, but going to get it tore down and really washed up so I can see what it needs. I did notice when I was walking around, it had you can't see it on this side. It wasn't low on oil, but there's definitely an oil leak somewhere back here. I believe it's pretty common for these cam chain tensioners to need a gasket. But like I said, I'm only riding it for a couple of weeks. So instead of tearing into that, I might just keep moving on and just add oil if I ever need it. But yeah, just gonna start by getting it tore down so I can get it washed up to see what it really needs. So I got it part of the way tore down. Really glad I started tearing it down. I mean, this sucker's just packed full of seeds, and this radiator, yeah, I think it probably would have overheated. So glad I'm getting it tore down. Gonna try to get it all, probably just most of the fenders off. Once I get those all off, take it outside, give it a good old power wash, and just keep the process moving. I got it about as far as I want. I just popped the front wheels off before I took it outside and washed it. Just wanted to check the machine over. I jacked up the rear end. Everything is really tight back here. Really nothing loose. Moved around to the front. This side is pretty tight. There's a little bit of play there, but might just pump that full of grease. But this side is a little more loose. Kind of hard to see, but that's loose. All these A-arm bushings are loose. But in reality, it's not horrible. I'm only going to be riding this for about 2 weeks. I mean, it's not super excessive. I mean, for something with 20,000 miles, I expected this thing to be a lot worse. Did notice when I got up underneath of it, this one shock is leaking. It's not, I don't think it's fully blown yet, but for what I'm gonna do with this thing, I truly think if I get it washed up, get it re-greased, definitely service all the differential, engine, transmission, I think it's gonna be a pretty good machine. Might see if I mean, this has got more play here, but it's mostly up at that upper A-arm. I've rode it around a little bit and it didn't feel super excessive. So like I said, I might just leave it all together and just re-grease it and see how it goes. So yeah, hopefully get it washed up tomorrow and go from there. Here we are in the Outlander build. Ian's getting ready to cut the exhaust because we're going to be building it with this. Liam is drinking beer and Katie is supervising. I'm making sure I get this serviced because if I don't service it now, I won't do it till later. I got it washed up pretty good. There's plenty of garbage everywhere, a bunch of seeds, but after about an hour of washing, got it taken care of. So just gonna work on getting it serviced. Liam already professionally installed an air filter. Yes, we will grease the bushings. That's your job, Liam. Grab the grease gun.
I don't do that, but yeah, Fiona. So we got this quiet, stupid thing that Can-Am likes to call a muffler.
It's even got a super sweet bolt in it.
Yeah, I don't know why that's there, but it's there. We're gonna kind of chop it right here. Then we're gonna grab this quality big gun right here.
I think
make noise at all.
It's off of another Outlander, but
yeah. And then we're gonna like figure out how to make that go right there and make it go bark.
Yeah. So lots of custom fabrication, super custom. Also changing the oil. Noticed a super cool detail. We got a broken frame, so get that cleaned up and we'll get that burned back in. But oil was a little dirty, not bad, but at least it had oil in it. That's the big part. So Ian's gonna do some custom fab over there and we'll keep it going.
Premium tack weld, bud.
Premium.
So the four-wheel drive wasn't perfectly working on this. So I had this one in it, and when you plugged it in, so this is the old actuator. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just sitting there humming. So went over to Power Sports Nation, got a premium used actuator, and get it plugged in, make sure it works, and should be ready to rock and have four-wheel drive again. Yeah, this one definitely works a little bit better, so that'll be perfect. Getting back on the road with four-wheel drive. Yeah, the rear differential fluid hadn't been changed in a while compared to the front diff fluid, so it's got a little shimmer to it, but I've seen worse. So yeah, just gonna let this drain out and we'll get it refilled. Ian's got the exhaust all custom welded up, mounted up. Didn't even need a space or anything. Yeah, don't look too close. We're better grinders than we are welders. But replacing the spark plugs, be pretty surprised if these weren't the originals. So Ian is going to get the other side changed. Then we're going to be able to get it fired up. We got the oil changed, dropped the fluid in the front diff, the rear diff, and the transmission, but we want to hear this thing, so gonna get it fired up pretty quick and then check the fluids again, and should be ready to rock. The Outlander is on its way back together. Got all the fluids changed, refilled. Got the wiring ran for the light bar. Just working on getting the light bar mounted. Going to work to get the plastics back on. That way I can finish mounting the light bar. It's gonna probably go right about here, but just trying to make sure I got enough wire for everything. But it doesn't sound bad. It sounds like a an Outlander with a pipe. Going to get the body put back on and then hopefully be able to ride it a little bit, maybe go from there. Well, I never finished my shop video because I kind of ran out of time, and then, well, I forgot to videotape, and then I left for Mexico, drove to Mexico, been in Mexico for over a week and a half now, and I'm now just finishing my video. So, gonna do a final update on the Outlander and how it did here in Mexico. So here's the Outlander. Haven't had to really do anything in Mexico to it. Just finished putting it together, loaded it in the truck, and away it came. So we had some stickers made, some little ones, and then we got a big one right there. Still kept the Fiona sticker because it's already got a name, got to keep it. So haven't had any real issues, except I had a brake line fail that on the way down, I'm guessing since I had the brake on, it just had a soft spot or a wear spot on it, and it blew the brake line. So I ended up patching it and plugging it. So it was just the brake line from the master cylinder to the rear brake. So I still got front brakes and rear brakes. But yeah, so the machine looks pretty good. Really, other than the seat cover, everything else is kind of how I got it. Just a couple PSN stickers. Tires are doing well, no flats or anything like that. Did put the rigid light bar on and run it off the handle switch up here. It's a good light, I like it. This switch works pretty good, except it's kind of hard to tell during the day if it's on, if you accidentally bump it, unless you look at the light bar. But at night it works really well. Took a little bit to get it adjusted properly for the front of the bumper, but everything works well. Haven't had a lot of issues. Did lose one bolt up here on the front rack, but that's minor details. So haven't had any issues with it other than the brake line. Like I said, hasn't overheated or broke anything. Still runs really good. It sounds good. You know, for being, just the stock head pipe and welded on, it's not aggressively loud, but it definitely does have a good bark. You can definitely tell the suspension's worn out on this thing. I mean, it's not bad at all, but you can definitely tell it's a little loose. But so far it's taken everything I've thrown at it. It's a little loose, but even entered it in a drag race at a local Towns Here event. Won my first race because I had traction, and then lost the second one because I stood it up on its end and bent the grab bar back there. But other than that, it's been doing really well. I can't complain about it, especially with it just being, a $4,000 machine, and the little things I had to do to it, which was really just service it and really make sure it's all good to go. Oh, I did weld the frame up too. I forgot about that. Had that, wherever it's at, that little crack right there, so I just welded it up. Hasn't given me a lick of issues yet, but nope, really happy with the machine. For $4,000, it's kind of hard to beat, having all that Outlander power, being the 1000, but at the same time, it's pretty comfortable. We've done a lot of trips back and forth with me, Karina, and Ron on this thing, and there's been enough room, and it handles the weight well. Some machines, like if you just get, 2 people on there, they really squat, but this one isn't bad. But had to do a nice little bungee cord around here to make sure this storage box stays up, because it's pretty loose. So just a bungee cord, because I got my zip ties and pliers in there, so I don't want to lose them. But yeah, overall it's been a really solid machine. Pretty happy with it. Gonna try to do some video for you of doing flybys with the exhaust, because who doesn't love hearing a V-twin sing? So yeah, that's kind of the wrap up of the Mexico Outlander Fiona. Been a great machine. Probably gonna get parted out when we get back at the shop, but worked really well for what I needed to. So we'll catch you on the next one. Karina, tell us about your experience in Mexico.
Like all of it, or like right now?
No, just right now.
It's hot. It's like 71, 72.
Okay.
It took them 4 years to set up the 4 hay bales for growers, and they have yet to start. Also, there's no pre-registration, so it's just whoever wants to sign up.
That's Mexico, baby.